my dad and them and my uncles, they were a bunch of thug motherfuckers. Like the most illegal motherfuckers you ever want to meet. Like one time he was paying child support. I had to go pick up my child support money, right? But he was to get the money. He was depending on my uncle to come buy I think like 2 pounds of weed, and
Damn.
and my uncle fucked off and never came.
Welcome back for the first time, geek enthusiasts and lovers of the plastic crack. This is your safe space, free from safety. So put your hands on some plastic. It's time for toy detox.
Man, my phone didn't even ring.
Nah,
Uh-uh.
it's probably the stupid Skype, man. Skype sucks balls.
It does.
What's up, man?
How are you doing?
Doing pretty good, sir. I'm on some fucking fumes. Fucking
Fumes. I
fumes.
thought you said you were on a high, a Civil
Eh,
War high.
I'm on a fume high.
Oh, you've peaked. You're on your way down now.
Yeah, I'm on a fume high, dude. Fucking, I got up this morning, man, and the alarm went off at 5 o'clock, and I kind of like just kind of laid there and just kind of like stared at the back at one of my eyelids, and then the other eye stared at the ceiling, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I gotta get up. I was like, I don't know. So I ended up getting out the bed and just kind of dragging ass, and I got out of here late and shit, and then it just fucking turned to a long day. So,
Wow.
needless to say, I will sleep tonight. Well, I won't sleep anytime soon, but I will sleep once I finally get there.
No.
Are you
But,
on your way from the theater now?
yeah, dude, I'm driving home right now, literally.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I caught a 8:30 showing. That shit was almost 3 hours, man.
yeah, that was a good long movie. I like it though. I like not so much. Obviously, I like it, but I like the longer superhero movies, man, because you get a chance to get everything in there. You know what I'm saying?
If it's done right, like this one didn't feel like 3 hours. Like Batman versus Superman felt long.
Really?
Yeah, and well, I think it's because it had those moments where like you thought it was gonna end,
Hmm.
and then it just kept going.
This one,
Where
this one, or the Batman vs Superman?
no, Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
So, but I mean, are you recording? You want to jump into
Oh
this
yeah,
right now?
I
Okay.
hit record from go.
All right. So, scale of one to 10. What do you give it?
I will give it. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9. At minimum 8.5, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9.
Whoa,
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to him.
whoa.
But let me qualify that. Let me qualify that. First, let me say
Please,
that, huh?
please do, because a nine is really inflated. But go ahead. I
Okay,
want to
well,
hear this.
okay. So, okay, wait. What would you count as a 9? Like, if you had to think of a 9 movie off the top of your head, what would you call a 9?
In the same genre, like superhero movies.
Nah, just a 9.
Well, no, I think you got to keep it in context. I would say probably the only movies I would give a 9 would probably be Winter Soldier
Hmm.
and Dark Knight Rises.
See, I want to talk about that Winter Soldier deal. Like, I want to talk about. Okay, well, okay. First, let me qualify this right quick. All right.
Yeah.
So, one, I too like the Winter Soldier, and I like the first Cap movie, and I do believe that out of all the superhero movies, I'm going to exclude Deadpool, right? Out of all the superhero movies, I mean all of them, I've always thought that the Captain America movies were done the best. I've always felt like that, and I've enjoyed them the most
I can
up until Batman vs Superman.
I can. Well, you think Batman versus Superman is better than Winter Soldier?
Not. It's not a better. Like I said in our chat, my heart is with that one. I think Batman vs Superman was not as good a movie as as any of the Cap movies. Maybe most likely
It's not.
yeah.
It's not.
But as far as favor, I favor Batman vs Superman more than any of them because I think because that movie just meant more to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it's your inner fanboy coming out, and
Yeah,
like, don't
yeah.
don't 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 get me wrong. Like, I am a Batman guy through and through, but this was by far a better movie than Batman versus Superman.
Oh yeah. As far as just being a better production, period. Yeah, you would have to give it to it. You would have to give it to it. No
Okay,
doubt.
all right. So justify your 9 here.
Okay, so I really enjoyed the movie. I'm already fucking biased because I go into it thinking that the Cap movies are done the best, and I think it was really well executed. There was not a moment where I was like, ah, this bullshit. You know, the closest I came to that is when when they finally got to the point where they're getting ready to introduce Spider-Man, right? I mean, when he was alluding to going Queens, when he was going to Queens for him to recruit Spider-Man, and I knew they were going to bring on the young man Spider-Man. Being that I disliked the idea of the reboot and the whole of the teenager and all that kind of shit, I was really at that point I was like, ah, fuck. But then at the same time, I was like excited. I was like, "Oh, Spider-Man, Spider-Man!" You know what I'm saying? So I can't even call that a detractor. I think if I had to point at anything in the movie that stuck out as an irritant for me, it would be how they kept on flashing like the country or the city they was going to in big
Oh,
bold letters. That shit was getting on my nerves.
that okay. I'm with you there. That was a little distracting.
Uh,
Okay.
but I think it was I think it was executed very well. I mean, we've already gotten accustomed to all these characters. I like that, and I don't want to say too much and then take away from everything we're going to cover. But I just think that everybody got proper time. I like that they stepped the Falcon up. Fucking when the Black Panther showed up, that was like fucking that was like the fucking like I busted a nut moment. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I was like,
Because
go ahead.
because it was Black Panther, or you were like, "Oh my God, we got 3 black superheroes in one movie."
You know what? Funny enough, my wife said, "Oh shit, they giving black people a chance." She was like, my wife was like, "Babe, they got black people in this movie. They got a lot of black superheroes in this movie." She said, "I like," and she was like, "I like that now we actually got black people in these superhero movies." I said, "Well, we got them in the Marvel movies."
Hey, not to okay. So where I went to the movie,
Uh huh.
it's a smaller area, and like, out of everybody who was in there, there was only a couple black people. One couple was actually sitting right next to me, right?
Hmm.
And we were kind of talking a little bit before the movie started, because they actually let us in like almost 45 minutes before the movie started,
Oh wow.
just to like get seated or whatever.
Uh huh.
And when well, fuck it, we're doing spoilers. When
Yeah.
War Machine falls and he hits the ground,
Hmm.
the guy next to me is like, "Of course the black guy's gonna die." And I started laughing. I was like, "Oh shit, he's right." But then, as we all know, Don
Uh,
Cheadle didn't die,
yeah.
so
And
that was
I was
good.
glad for that as well. 'Cause I was like, wow, I know they're not going to kill Don Cheadle off, man. But when he was falling, my wife was like, no. And I was like, well, there was already rumors that one person was going to die. And I
Yeah.
said, baby, there's 3 black people in this movie. No one was going to take the L if somebody's got to take it.
I'll
Oh,
tell you what
shit.
though, like,
Uh
when that scene happened and he hit the
huh.
whole theater was silent. And if you know, like, in the movie,
Hmm.
the movie was silent. They cut the music,
Oh, wow.
and
Yeah, yeah,
and it
you're
was
right.
just
You're right. You're right.
and it was just silent. Like, it was almost eerie. I was just
Yeah.
like, whoa. It was good though.
Because I don't think
So
anyone would expect to see any of these characters die because you gotten accustomed to all of them, like you gotten acquainted with them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Whether you're a comic guy or not, you know.
I I give the movie like a solid 7.5.
I want to hear the reason why for that 7.5 and not like an 8 or something like that.
Couple things, but Paul Rudd annoyed the shit out of me in that movie. Like,
Paul
he didn't
Rudd.
even have any line. All his lines were like stupid little one-line jokes.
You don't like Paul Rudd. You weren't a fan of that Ant-Man movie, were you?
It was okay. Like, but the thing is like, there's no depth to that Ant-Man. Like, he's like, "I'm here to be the comic relief and make stupid jokes." Like,
But that's a
I was
Marvel movie, though. That's what they do.
no, yeah, but there were other jokes in the movie that were good. But like, I almost like, Ant-Man didn't need to be in that movie. The only thing he adds to that movie is stupid jokes.
I hate when y'all say that shit, man. Such and
No,
such
but
didn't
like
need to
I'm
be
being
in that movie. Dude, it's supposed to be it's Civil War, and we only got like 5 people. Dog. They need everybody they can
well,
get.
no, okay, well, no, all right. So let's go hero by hero.
Okay.
How did you feel about Cap?
You know what? I'm a true Cap fan. That's that scene where he was holding the fucking that scene where he was holding the helicopter from taking off and shit. Of course, I was sitting there like, I bet my wife is fucking just loving this right now, right? But that scene where he was fucking holding the helicopter and shit, it really drove home the idea. What was it? Was it Adam that said that he believed they were trying to make Cap the new American hero
That was
over
Oscar.
Superman? Was that Oscar?
That's Oscar.
Yeah,
That's
so it,
Oscar.
it really drove that thought home to me. And I looked at it, I was like, you know what? I can see that. Which is funny because that's who Cap is supposed to be, but Superman has predominantly held that spot, like overall, no matter what universe you're into, right? But when
So,
he did that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, yeah, Cap is that guy now.
dude, that whole like it was stupid.
Oh
Like it
God.
was like I'm like, this does not need to be in here. And let me just show you how great my biceps and pecs look. Like it just, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, did that need to be in there?
What? See, let me ask you this question, and I know we're gonna go through all of this again when we get with the nerd rage guys, right? But
Mm-hmm.
what is the concept of what's the concept behind, or what's the idea behind this doesn't need to be in there? Now I can see there are certain movies where shit is in there, and you're like, man, get
Yeah,
the fuck out of here, right? But it's a superhero movie. You're supposed to be wild by the superhero movie.
I
You
know,
want to
but
take
that was
scenes out of it?
no, that was almost too superheroish though. That
How
was
can you
over
be
the
too
top.
super? It's fucking
No,
superheroes.
that was just like I'm like, okay, no, no.
Oh
It, like
my god. Oh, listen.
that Bob, like, dude, when he started doing, I literally rolled my eyes. I was like, okay, here we go.
Oh god. You
That
motherfuckers
sh-
don't want
that
the superheroes
that
to be
that
superheroes?
that shot was in there for the ladies.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is a project for entertainment to sell tickets and make money. So
Yeah, I get that.
you're a
All
hater.
right,
You're a hater.
Iron Man. Iron Man. Well,
Um, you know what? You know what struck me on that one because reading the Civil War stuff and then going back and reading the newer Civil War stuff they did and how much you hated Tony in the Civil War comics because of the
hmm
stance he took. I think they captured that pretty well, being that they didn't have all the fucking superheroes in there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think
So
they captured that fucking that making you have that animosity towards Tony.
you you know what? I think this is my favorite Iron Man out of any of the movies.
I have to agree.
Like he didn't have all the dumb one-liners. Like they gave all the shit he should have had. They gave to Paul Rudd,
Yeah,
and like he was serious. Like he was sincere. Like it was reality. Like if like he felt like at least when I'm watching him, like he had
hmm
some weight to him, man. Like he had
yeah,
guilt, man. Like that scene when that lady's like, "Oh,
yeah,
I'm exactly where I want to be," and
yeah.
like he kind of has that post-traumatic stress moment. Like he grabs her hand, like he's
hmm
afraid that she's got a gun, and you just see like the look in his eyes. And then when she walks away and she hits him with the, "Oh, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be."
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I feel like they've been building, or they've been slowly pushing him towards that direction. Well, obviously they have been right throughout the course of
Yeah.
the Iron Man movies. But I look at okay, because when Iron Man first hopped on the scene, yeah, it was Tony Stark, but what it really was Robert Downey Jr. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the name Tony Stark, and I like. Don't get me wrong, because he actually made me like the Iron Man character. I never gave a fuck about Iron Man before, right? But I see it now becoming more of the Iron Man from the comics and less Robert Downey Jr. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe the perfect combination. I don't know the perfect merger. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. That was the best Iron Man thus far.
So
Best Tony
yeah.
Stark thus far.
So let me ask you a question. At any time, did you find yourself rooting for Iron Man?
No, and I think that's the way it was supposed to be. I didn't because I
I
go ahead.
I did. I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we know
Like,
what side you're on.
well, no. Well, the way, and it, we all know it didn't go down exactly like how it did it in the comic books, because like in the comic books, I think it played off more, and a lot of people had a lot of animosity towards Tony. But
Yeah.
like in this one, like I kept thinking to myself, I was like, okay, I get it, but like Bucky's your friend, but how long was he your friend? And now literally this guy who's had your back, you guys literally saved the fucking world together how many times?
Well, I
and
mean, but
and you
consider
and
how
you
long.
and you fucking sell him out, dude. No, like even though there's been some animosity between the two of them, those two have done more shit and gone through more shit and have been in more battles with one another than Captain America and Bucky ever was.
Do you think? See, only movie wise. Like, if you look at the comic,
Well,
look at it comic
well,
wise, they've got like a history.
no,
Like
no, no.
if you consider him and him and Bucky were best friends growing up.
Well, no, no, and I get that though, right?
Huh?
But let me ask you this, Mickey.
Okay.
How many guys do you still talk to that you actually grew up with?
That's not a fair question, dude.
No,
I
no,
live like
no.
all
I'm
over the
being
world.
real.
No, I'm saying I live like everywhere, so it's like impossible for me. No.
Okay.
But no. But I get your point. I get your point. I get your point.
Yeah, but like the way I'm looking at it, like I feel like he's like, I don't know, and maybe it hit a little too close to home because one of my best friends growing up, I kind of feel sold me out at one point.
Did you go in there with baggage, sir? Did you go in there with baggage?
maybe I
Why did you say that name? Why did you say that name?
dude, dude, it's funny you say that. Tell me there wasn't a mother moment in this movie.
Fuck
I was
yeah,
like,
it
oh,
was,
you killed my mom.
dude.
I was like, oh,
Yeah, dude.
no, but like I really feel like Cap sold out that relationship that him and Tony had way
I
too
think that
easily.
I don't think that he actually sold out. As a matter of fact, I think that he played the middle as best he could while taking a stand. Because think about it, the fight at the end, right? That fight, the badass fight we're all waiting for, right? When the three of them fighting and shit, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
he disarms Cap. He disarms Iron Man. He beats him to the ground, but he didn't kill him. He didn't even fucking injure. I mean, he didn't even seriously injure him. He took his fucking energy source, so he couldn't do nothing. And I'll go one step further and say that I believe that he was trying to save Tony from himself.
Well, but at the same point, like you don't think Tony played it easy on him? He had
They,
them
they
both
all
on the
did.
ropes.
They all did.
He
They all did.
like he could have killed them both.
No,
You,
you're right. They all did. But Tony was trying to fucking like Tony didn't want to kill Cap, but he wanted to fucking kill Winter Soldier, and he was going to kill that fucker.
well, I mean, if somebody killed your mom and dad,
Yeah,
wouldn't you want
exactly,
some vengeance?
exactly. And I think that and Cap being the good guy that he is, he knows that that wasn't the best move, and Tony probably would have been able to live with it. You know what I'm saying? So I think he saved him from himself. He protected Bucky,
Mm,
but I think he because if he really wanted to fucking kill, if he could have fucking seriously injured when he tore that fucking mask off. You know what I'm saying? He could have put him out of commission, dog, but he didn't do that. He fucking drove that shield into his chest piece.
okay, but at the same time, like Iron Man had them both on the ground. He could have just hit him with a freaking beam out of his chest and killed them
Well,
both.
no, it's not in question of whether fucking Iron Man
Okay,
was going easy on
okay,
Cap,
but dude, there's a point. Like Bucky is a wild dog.
right?
There comes a point like you have to put him down.
Nah, Cap is loyal, man, and Cap is loyal all the way. Like Cap is the best of us, no matter what. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
but see, but here's the thing though. A, loyalties change,
Not
and
Cap,
B, loyalties in the eye of the beholder.
not
Dude,
Cap, dude.
he wasn't loyal to Iron Man.
He was loyal to Iron Man, dude. No, no,
No.
no. He had. Okay, here's the deal. You got Captain America, right? Captain America is going to fucking go for what's right first and foremost. Like the whole idea behind Civil War, you would assume that Captain America would be on the side of the government, but no. It's like the government versus the Constitution. The Constitution is for your rights. You know what I'm saying? He's standing by your rights. What are your ultimate rights? You know what I'm saying? Even if it doesn't seem like the law abiding thing, he's doing the ultimate right, and that's Captain America. So for him, the ultimate right was to fucking stand by all of his friends, all of his friends, but take the stand no matter what, no matter how he'll be looked at. That's Captain America, dude. You can't disagree with that. That's Captain of fucking America, the fucking
No,
ultimate
it's
fucking good guy.
well, no, no, no. Okay, like in the comic books, like in it's weird, man, because I like I'm trying to keep the two separate because there are a lot of differences.
Hmm.
But it was like in the comic book, like I found myself rooting for Cap.
Yeah.
But in this movie, there was a couple times, and I don't want to say it was taking the easy way out, but it was
Hmm.
just like fucking Cap, like remove yourself from this thing, remove yourself from the situation. You know what I mean? Like
But
if he
Cap
didn't
doesn't
have,
do that. That's not Cap.
well, I know, but I'm saying if he would have and then seen the larger picture, I don't think all this shit would have happened.
But what's the larger picture though?
I mean, when it comes down to it, like I hate to say it, man, people need rules and regulations. I don't think anybody's above the law.
Yeah, but see, okay, so yeah, that's true. So that's the right way. That's the law, right? But the moral and Cap is a moral character. He's a moral, ethical character, right? So, and that you can't. I mean, comic book or movie, that's what Cap is. You know what I'm saying? So the ultimate, right? It's like the whole thing between. You know, they said there's a debate. There's got to be a balance between security and our freedom, and
Hmm.
there is no balance between security and freedom. Freedom is first. You know what I'm saying? That's a meme they push out there, but freedom is first. The forefathers said that. You know what I'm saying? You don't fucking compromise your freedom for anything.
No, and I'm with you
Hmm.
there. Okay, but at the same time, like the day and age we live in now is not the day and age that
That's
Constitution
the
was
point
written.
that most people make, but it still remains to be the same. Because if you give up, okay, we're gonna turn this into a whole nother show, dude.
I know. Fucking round two. I guess technically be round three.
Round three, right?
Look, all of our listeners tuned in because they thought they were going to get a Civil War recap, and we're getting into more political stuff.
We're teaching you motherfuckers. So the reality is, the minute you give up your freedom, then you no longer. The minute you compromise your freedom, you no longer have it, and
Well,
and, and you
and
and you're
and
not safe anymore.
well, and I'm with you 100%. And
Hmm.
whenever and you give up an inch of freedom, you're never going to get it back, and I
Right.
get that. Without some sort of revolution type of takeover,
Yeah.
or I guess you could say take back. But I don't know, man. Like I just I found myself like if you looked at it, right,
Hmm.
Mickey, like you and your buddy growing up is Bucky. You and I go through all this shit together, literally save the fucking world multiple times from aliens, from a fucking robot, and all of a sudden, like you turn your back on me for this guy that you knew years and years ago. Like I'm gonna take issue with that, man.
Yeah, but and I get that because you're looking because okay, so in this instant, you just became Tony Stark and I just became Captain America, right?
I know, I know.
But and just like Tony, you're looking at it like that, right? But Cap didn't look at it because Cap wasn't choosing. He was put in a position whereas his actions constituted a choice, right? But in his heart, he wasn't choosing between the two. He had to defend his friend. He had to protect his friend because in the end, his friend didn't even do the shit. His friend was being framed, which is correct, right?
Well, his friend did do it. He
Well,
was
no, his friend did some
he was
shit.
quote unquote brainwashed,
Yeah,
but
his friend did
and
some shit.
and I mean at this point, Mickey, and then I find out your homeboy killed my parents. We're gonna have some issues.
I know. But listen, man, I'm still your buddy, and I'm not gonna fucking drive my shield through your face because I'm your buddy, dude. If,
Yeah,
if he if he turned his back on Tony, if he abandoned Tony, then he would have never fucking sent. Gosh, should we give all the spoilers out?
all of them.
Okay, he would have never fucking sent that fucking box to Tony. Tell him, hey man, I'm still here. Cap, man, come on, Cap's your friend to the end without being Chucky, dude.
No, I get that, and
But did you get a Chucky reference there? Did you see what I did with that?
yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah, sweet. I did
But
that.
like there was a couple like imagery things like I really like when
Okay.
Tony was like, you don't deserve that shield. That shield doesn't belong to you.
Oh yeah,
And he's like, or my father made you that shield, and he fucking drops it and
yeah,
walks away from the shield. It's like, and then, you see the scratches from the Black Panther on the shield. I was
yeah,
like, oh shit.
yeah. It's serious.
And
There's a
then,
lot of serious imagery. I'm gonna say
yeah,
that.
well, no, and then I was gonna say, and then when he goes and breaks him out of the prison or whatever, like he's not wearing the cap suit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So it's like, did he hang it up? Is he still Cap? Is he, like you don't know what he is. He doesn't
Yeah,
have his shield. So,
and that's what I actually like that, man. I actually like that because at that point they're telling you that they're showing, in my opinion, they're showing you that Cap is more than just that shield. Like if you notice that throughout the movie, they kept taking his shield, they kept taking his shield, but Cap was still going. He's more. And dude, let me just go on record as saying I have never fucking been a Captain America fan. I could not stand Captain America until the fucking movies. The movies made me like Captain America. But I think that the whole thing with them taking the shield repeatedly through the movie and shit was them showing that Captain America is more than just the sum of his fucking shield. And then I also like how they, it's a serious movie with comedy and shit, right? And it has its comedic moments, but I like the idea that they set this up as a bunch of friends, and they even went so far as to break it down to a youthful level. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a thing. It's a feud between friends, but they don't dislike each other. You know what I'm saying? And in so many different instances throughout the movie, you can see where they kind of related it to, like, when you was a kid hanging with your friends, and how you like the whole scene with the fucking Volkswagen Bug, and they're sitting in the car while he kisses his girlfriend. You know
oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I kind of dug that, but all throughout the movie. So when you go to like the whole Captain America and Iron Man, and Tony's down, he's beat. He's like, well, you don't deserve that shield. You leave that shield. It's like that little kid. That's the last thing he got. That's my toy. You can't take it. And dude's like, well, fuck it. Here, you can have the toy. You can have your ball back. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You can have your ball. I'll be the adult in the room. I'm the older one. You can have the ball back. But I'm still your buddy, even though you're mad at me. That's what I got from it.
Uh, Man, now the car scene was pretty funny. I think
Yeah.
we've all had that moment in our life when,
Yeah.
like, when you kiss the girl and you turn around and your buddies are like, hey,
Yeah.
smile and shit. I mean, it's like, oh,
I
that was
fucking
nice.
love the part with it. Can you move your seat up? No.
Yeah, because that's some shit that has happened.
And no shit, dude. When they did that part, my mind went back to of course went back to like my high school moments, right? Your high
Hmm.
school, but it for some reason the first scene I thought about was House Party. When have you seen? I know you've seen House Party, right?
Yeah, I've seen House
All
Party.
right, so when kids kissing Gina, it's
Yep.
funny how I still call Tisha Gina, right? So he was kissing Gina, and fucking Play and Martin Lawrence were in the car, fucking acting stupid. Yo, that shit
Yeah,
was it was I liked it. I love that dude. I loved it. It was funny as hell.
that was good.
Yeah.
All right, so is there any characters you didn't like?
I wanted to hate Spider Man. Well, not. I wanted to hate the idea of rebooting and Spider and the cat and the young guy they got to play the new teenage Peter Parker. I wanted to hate that shit, but I
Hmm.
couldn't. I couldn't do it.
He did a good job.
He
I'll
did.
give him. I'll give him credit.
And you know how like everybody was coming out and you saw heard all the reviews. If you heard him about how he knocked it out of the park, and I was like, before I seen this, I was like, how the fuck can you say that? It's like he's a fucking cameo in a fucking Civil War movie. How the fuck can you give him this much credit yet? But when I saw it and I watched it, I was like, damn, he did knock the shit. Because my wife was pissed off. She was like, he's not. That's not the what's the other guy's name? The Garofalo guy.
Garfunkel,
Yeah, and
Andrew
she's like, that's
Garfunkel.
not the blah blah blah. That's not Spider Man. That's not Peter Parker. But by the end of them showing him as a kid, oh, she loved him. She loved him, and
Yeah.
I was all in. So I think the only thing that well, you know what? Let me correct that. The Crossbones. I wasn't happy with Crossbones.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a weird choice too.
Not the choice. I wasn't happy with the way they did him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't happy with the way they did him.
Mm.
Start
I,
starting with the gas mask over the mask. I thought that was stupid as fuck.
well, I thought it was kind of weird. Yeah, that was kind of weird. But I think that was more they were going for like the element of surprise type
Yeah,
of thing,
yeah.
right? But like those, not those costumes on those guys, like they look like dudes from Halo. I was like, what
Yeah,
is
they
this?
did. They did.
Like with their masks and the weird eye colors and stuff. I was like, that's weird.
So here's my question to you: Were they? I know that Crossbones is obviously Hydra, but were those other guys supposed to be Hydra or just some ruffian thug contractors they hired or something? Because I saw nobody with a fucking Hydra symbol on them anywhere.
I was looking for that too. I think it was more. I think they try to play it out more like mercenary type thing versus all Hydra. I
Yeah.
think they were. I think they were trying to say that big Hydra reveal for Baron Zemo.
I didn't like the way they did Zemo. I mean,
Dude,
the
I kept waiting for him to show up in the fucking suit, man.
yeah,
And
exactly.
like,
I was just getting ready
and
to say
like,
that.
and I had heard before, like an interview with him or whatever, like he said, "Oh, I don't wear the suit,"
Hmm.
and I thought it was maybe just him trying to like throw people off,
Hmm.
but like part of me wanted to see that like pink tiger stripe kind of
Yeah.
looking suit with the fur ruffles and shit on it. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question. Would you want it if they did do it? Would you wanted the old mask or the new mask? The one that's fitted to his face or the one that kind of drapes over like a hood?
I think I would have wanted the Cobra Commander mask, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, something
I
different.
hate that mask. I like the new mask. Here's
Yeah,
my deal. I didn't like that. First of all, I didn't know that Zemo was in this movie. So I didn't know that fucking he was Zemo until they said his name, right? And
yeah,
so the whole time I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then when they finally said that he was Zemo, I was like, well, that's not his fucking story. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
then I became dissatisfied with the whole Zemo thing. He did. Then the guy did a good job. The character for what it was and how they portrayed it did a good job. Was pretty good, but and certainly better than fucking that Lex Luthor.
Much better.
But yeah, I didn't like the fact they weren't true to Zemo when they weren't true to so many other characters in the story in the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting choice,
Yeah, especially to
but
do it that way. Now, how do you feel about them? Okay, so they built up the whole super soldier idea, right? But then you don't get a
yep.
super soldier battle because he kills those motherfuckers. How did you feel about that? Like, did you feel robbed or what?
No, actually, like I a couple of times, like I thought to myself in the movie, I was like, where are they going?
Hmm.
Like, like it didn't like the plot. I don't want to say it was murky. Like it
Hmm.
wasn't murky, but it wasn't like blatantly obvious. Like I
Yeah,
kind of
you're right.
like I kind of kept thinking like, man, where are they going with this? Where are they going with this? And then I kind of thought the same way you did. Like, okay, he's got these new super soldiers. Like we're gonna, they're gonna hate each other when they get there, and then all of a sudden, you know, we're gonna have this. They're gonna have to team up together and have this big, massive blowout against
Mm,
these five super soldiers. But it didn't happen that way.
yeah,
So
and I agree with you. I wasn't dissatisfied with that. I was not dissatisfied with it because I feel like it would have been too much, and it would have took away from the whole that 3-man fight deal.
yeah. What
Uh,
did you what did you think of Black Panther?
Dude, when fucking Black Panther popped on the scene, like in the suit, like when he came up from the back and dude was running, I knew it wasn't Spider Man, but because you saw him like coming through the air, I thought it was Spider Man, like for a second, and then I can't remember what part of it let me maybe help me to realize that it was going to be the Black Panther before they actually showed Black Panther. But when he fucking popped in and he started whooping ass, I was like, fuck all of these movies. Give me my Black Panther movie now. Fuck the fuck the DC movies. Fuck the Doctor Strange. Fuck all of that shit. Fuck the fucking the Secret Wars. Fuck all of it, dog. Infinity War. Fuck all that shit. Give me my fucking Black Panther movie now. He was badass. He was badass, dude.
No, I thought he was good, man. I was a little nervous on what
Hmm.
they were gonna do with the accent,
Hmm.
but I think they pulled it off. I think they
No,
did,
I
did a
thought
good
that guy
job.
was African. He's not African for real.
No,
Is he British or some shit?
yeah, I think he's English. Um, but no, like there was only a couple things that bothered me with Black Panther. It's
Okay.
like so like when they first come across Bucky, right?
Hmm.
Like the what's her name, Agent Carter, like
Yeah.
gives Captain America and Falcon the file,
Yeah.
and she's like, I got to go give a briefing. This is gonna, it's only gonna give you an hour or 2 hours or whatever she said it was. But then like all of a sudden, like Black Panther knew where he was. Like he just
Wait.
showed up. He just showed up at the guy's apartment,
Ah, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
and
saying.
I was like, okay, that was kind of weird. And then
Was he following him? But you know the whole deal with T'Challa and all of that shit. They're supposed to be like the super. They got like every all the fucking space age resources and shit.
well, I know, but I mean, like they could have at least showed him like stalking him or
Yeah.
following him or something. But like all of a sudden he was there, and then he did that shit again, with the plane. Like he was just following Tony.
Now, yeah. Now that let's touch that one for a minute. I didn't know fucking T'Challa had his own fucking bat plane. Was that a fucking
Well, it kind of looked like one of the
That's
Quinjets,
what I thought it
and
was,
I
but I was
was
like, what if? Well, no, go ahead, go ahead.
no, yeah, I was with you. Like, where the fuck did he get this?
Yeah, because it's not like you were a signed on member of the Avengers yet. Why the fuck would you have a Quinjet?
Yeah,
But it
it just
seemed like it
seemed.
was more tech. It was his cockpit was different. His cockpit was different. than the fucking, he said cock. It was different than the fucking Quinjet.
How old are we now?
I know, I'm fucking such a fucking ass. Hey, let me just throw this out for the. Okay, so we were recording yesterday, and towards the end, I think I was pretty much delirious. I was so fucking tired. I just kept on
You were.
laughing and shit. I think Adam was like, "What the fuck is this guy laughing at?"
He probably just thought you'd been smoking that good stuff.
Yeah, dude, I was fucking tired as shit. But yeah, man, that fucking jet looked different from the Quinjet a little bit, but it resembled it just enough to throw me off.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, man, that was weird. That so the showing up twice, and then the other thing that bugged me was when the helicopter spun around and they were hitting him with the 50 cal out of the helicopter, and he just stood there
Wait, what now?
when when they were through that chase scene, and then they roll around and like he stands there, and the bullets are like bouncing off of his suit.
Oh yeah, because of the vibranium and shit.
What, dude? They're shooting him with a 50 cal
Oh,
out of a
I don't
helicopter.
remember that part. I'm trying to remember that.
I was like, okay,
Oh,
well,
on the roof?
yeah, I was like, at least like fall over, like you know what I mean,
I
like,
think I
or
remember. Yeah, that's yeah. You're right. I'm with you on that one. I don't even remember that shit, but
I was like, okay, like I get that it's vibranium, but
that's a
like you
lot
could,
of vibranium.
yeah, well, and I mean, you could at least get knocked down, or like when it hits you, like kind of like have your shoulder kick back a bit. Don't just stand there like a statue.
Yeah, because it is a suit on your fucking body.
Yeah,
I think they like okay. So in the comics, like they kind of take. I feel like in the comics they take it overboard with how fucking advanced Wakanda is, and so the movie I think tried to capture that. But it seems like in the movie it just seemed like a bit over the top. Because
yeah,
at the end when they're in Wakanda in the little fucking Easter egg scene and shit, didn't
yeah.
Wakanda seem like didn't that whatever they were in that little chamber? It kind of seemed like
Fucking
they was in a fucking Starship Enterprise on the next generation or some shit.
kind of. Well, yeah, but then it was like landed, and it was in the middle of fucking Jurassic Park. You had these
Yeah.
giant forests and this fog and shit, and a waterfall and a giant panther.
Yeah.
So
And I saw the Panther, and at that time, my thoughts went straight to the Savage Lands and what's that guy's name? The fucking fake Tarzan,
Oh,
King, whatever the fuck his name is,
I can't
and
remember.
Shubu or whatever that fucking
Yeah,
saber tiger was.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
What did you think about let's talk about Spider Man a bit. Let's talk about Spider Man a bit.
I like the way they did it.
Hmm.
I wish I would have got a little bit more background, like how Tony knew about him, besides
Yeah,
besides the YouTube videos. Like, how would he know to put two and two together that was Peter Parker?
yeah,
I mean, just a little bit more there, but like, well, hey, first off, timeout, hottest Aunt May ever.
yeah, boy, Marissa, girl, go get it, girl, go
Man,
get it.
she is she's aging quite well.
Oh yes, she is. So have you don't do you watch Empire at all?
No.
Okay, so she was on Empire, I think last season, and maybe a little bit this season. So in Empire, she plays a dyke, right? This rich dyke. So can I say is that fuck it? So she
That that is insensitive, Mickey.
okay, well it's fucking late. So but on the real, you get to see her in some clothing that lets you know that Marissa still got it.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I like the hot Aunt May deal. I like that.
Well, I thought it was fun, even funnier. Like Tony was giving him shit about it too.
Yeah, I dig that. What bugs you about? Okay. Tell you what. One thing that bugs you about it, and one thing that you liked about it.
About Spider-Man.
about just the Spider-Man presence period. Oh, okay.
I
The Peter, the sequence where they're at his apartment. Let's go with that.
Okay, so actually, I like the interaction between Tony and Peter.
Okay.
Like it felt pretty organic. Like I hate using that word. It felt more like a natural conversation,
I'm with you on that one.
and it was good. Like, and the kid played it off like he was really embarrassed, like he was
Hmm.
really nervous, and like he portrayed that pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I think the kid did a good job, and I like and there was a couple little jokes in there, kind of like Peter's a smart ass and so's Tony, so
Yeah.
there was a little bit of a back and forth. So I mean, like that was good. The well, and I even like the part where you hit him with the webbing on the door, and
He's like, get me
he's
out of this
like
shit.
he's like, okay, enough, like let me out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothered me about Spider-Man was that fucking nightlight that he had at the end of the movie, shining it on the ceiling. I'm
The
pretty sure you can buy one of those at Walmart for your kids and put it in your room, and it'll display the nightlight on the room
Yeah, but that
on
was
the
Stark
roof.
Tech and that shit, right? Like he has that projective computer shit where you can touch like the little icons and it does shit. He
Well,
hooked him
and
up.
I get that, and what is it? Spider-Man Unlimited when Shield decks him out and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like I get it, just looked kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
I I didn't really like that, but like most of the other stuff with Peter, like I thought it was good. Like like they made him awkward, but like
Yeah.
just awkward enough.
Yeah.
And then I think his fight scenes were pretty good. I love the Star Wars reference that he said.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah,
was
yeah.
awesome.
As he was going around like that really old movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I dug that.
yeah. And then he's like, "How old is this guy?" He's like, "I didn't carbon date him." Like I thought that shit was pretty good.
I'm gonna piggyback off of yours and say that I think that well first I'll go with the likes. I think I like what they did with Peter. I like the interaction, like you said. I think I like the whole deal. And one of the things that stood out to me that I especially like is they explain the reason by bringing up the goggles that he was wearing in his homemade suit.
Hmm.
It addressed everybody was like, why the fuck is his eyes doing that in the suit that Tony gave him, right? So
Yeah.
it addressed that and it answered that. So I like that. What I didn't like is
Oh, the part where he was like, my senses are at an 11.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I appreciated that. What I didn't like was that they changed up, like they changed up with Spider. They changed up the bit of the story, or the history of what Spider-Man did for himself far before Marvel decided to put Spider-Man with Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? It's like his costume was his costume was literally some bullshit underwear, and because of Tony Stark, now he has a Spider-Man suit versus him making his own, having his own. I don't think I was too happy with
Well,
that.
yeah, but I think it fit the story though.
No, it definitely
Like
fit the story. I
like
just don't like that.
like he had that original, like that ball, that little knot of his suit that was all knotted up, like it
Yeah,
looked like it was like sweatpants and like a sweatshirt.
yeah, yeah,
Like I kind of get that. Like he made that original costume or whatever, and he went and wrestled Macho Man Randy Savage or whoever. I think it was Macho Man, wasn't
yeah.
it,
But he
in the
created
Topher Grace
in
movie?
the movie, yeah. But he
Yeah, but
go ahead,
I
go ahead.
mean, no, but like I get it. Like he made his home. He had the homemade suit, and Tony gave him the new suit with the with the eyepieces or whatever.
Yeah,
Like I get it. Like it fits the movie, but it's not Spider-Man's. Like you said,
yeah,
it's kind of not like his coming of age tale.
yeah. I didn't like that. I mean, at least it pushes us beyond it, having to do a whole Spider-Man fucking reboot from the beginning and learn his story again. But I didn't like the idea that I like the way they kind of related a lot of things, showing that he was like basically taking a bunch of junk and making this something. He was into like dumpster diving for parts and shit like that.
Yeah.
I like that because you always kind of wonder where the fuck is this kid getting all this tech from, right? To build all this shit. But I didn't like the idea that he didn't have a real legitimate costume until Tony gave it to him. That means Spider-Man wasn't Spider-Man until Tony made him Spider-Man. I didn't like that.
I still think he was Spider-Man because, like, in the clips that he showed him on his handy dandy watch that he had
Hmm.
there, like it still looked pretty Spider-Man-ish with the red and the blue
He
and
had
like the kind
fucking
of
goggles on and goddamn sweatpants.
Well, I don't think they were quite sweatpants, but
Fucking
yeah.
sweatpants. Like Spider Man was in fucking comics swinging, doing his thing. I mean, here's my problem. Okay, I am not a fan of the whole Peter Parker working for Tony Stark in the comic shit. I'm not a fan of that shit, right? Like that came along with all the changes they made, right? So I'm
Hmm.
already biased, but I don't like the idea of them taking away all of what we knew of his history of being an adult. They just totally dumped all of that shit and go back to him being a teenager, and then they just insert the Tony Stark portion of his life, which comes from him being an adult in his teenage years. I don't like that shit. That shit doesn't work for me.
Well, I've said it before. That's they always got to have the young kid because that's the gateway in for these kids. Like that's the most relatable character, and then
Yeah,
and it's not on accident. Like it's by design.
yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
agree with you there.
But at the same time, like that, it made sense to me because like if he's an inventor and like he wants to build his own stuff, like there would be a little hero worship with Iron Man, like with
I
Tony
agree.
Stark. Like
I agree.
so, I mean, like it made sense to the story, but yeah, like I get what you're saying. Like it's not drawing straight from the comic
Yeah,
books. You
I
know what I
mean,
mean? Like
even with the fact that we've gotten how many Spider-Man movies now, and I know Marvel wanted to get their crack at it, but we got
five,
yeah,
five, right?
yeah, we've gotten five fucking Spider-Man movies now, not including all the old classics and shit. Like, at least you gonna make him a teenager, fine, but let him be a fucking teenager with his own real Spider-Man suit, and then Tony just give him some tech on top of it. You know what I'm saying? I would have been more receptive to
Well,
that.
I don't think we could have jumped straight to Iron Spider, dude.
No, it didn't have to
like
be
there's
Iron Spider, but I mean, he could have gave him better web. He could have did the whole Ultimate Spider-Man lacing them down.
you
You
know
know?
what though? Like I'm glad. Like I was afraid he was gonna give him web shooters. Like I'm glad like that stuff was on his own. Like he made up the compound, like the webbing
Oh
fluid,
yeah,
like
yeah,
on
I'm
his
with you on
own.
that.
Like I'd rather Tony give him a suit and some goggles to help his sensory
Hmm.
issues, and let him keep the webbing fluid and the web shooters.
I guess that's a good compromise. I'm with you on that. I'll take that.
So, is there anyone like you feel like they made into a bigger deal than what they needed to be?
Um,
Because I have one that jumps out, and it's Scarlet Witch. It's
really?
like like they tried to bring her to the forefront more. Like it just felt forced.
I feel like what they actually did was they gave everyone their own place and their own presence in the movie. I thought they did a good job of that.
No,
Be-
I'm with you there. Like it
mhm,
felt balanced across both Team Cap and Team Iron Man.
mhm.
But like I don't know if it was because they didn't have anything for her to do.
Shit, she had to
So,
fight fucking the Vision. She
well,
was
I don't
necessary
know.
because
I don't know.
really, without her, that fucking Vision cuts that team down in half. He cuts that team off the fight. Like there was really no fight. Without the Scarlet Witch, there is no fight. I'm sorry, fucking Vision's killing all them motherfuckers with no problem.
Well, I was kind of surprised because that like the teaser that they've been giving us, like in the trailers,
Hmm.
like when you have Team Cap running and the line gets put in the sand. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was surprised it was Vision. I thought for sure it was going to be Tony, and then when it was Vision, I was kind of like, oh shit.
I had never seen that. I actually never seen that, or I don't remember it.
Yeah, I
I
thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that they played up the relationship between Scarlet Witch and
Yeah,
Vision.
I like that. I like that
Because
too.
correct me if I'm wrong. I want to, dude. I got to go through my comic books. I think I have like a mini, like a 6 book set, and it's Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Don't they? I thought they have a baby or some shit.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I thought they had a baby. I had to ask the comic book guys tomorrow when we talk to them. I thought
Yeah.
they had a baby. I know fucking I know how powerful Scarlet Witch is. She's like immensely powerful. I know that. But when she put that motherfucker through the floor and basically sent him to hell, I was I was in awe of that shit. I was like, God damn,
Yeah.
she did that
But
shit.
it's kind of, I don't know. I almost feel like they didn't know what to do with her. So it's like, okay, they made her because I mean, if we're being real, like if she's deflecting the grenade or the
Hmm.
bomb, like with crossbones, right? Like if she can push him up into the building, she can push him up and away from the building.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
So it's kind of like they used her Like I almost feel like they used her as like the catalyst, and
Yeah,
then didn't know what to do with her, so they put her into hiding.
I liked it.
I like it. I don't know. It just I didn't really like her storyline in the movie.
Her the part she played, then right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that one. I'm glad you you touched on that because now that I think about it, I don't like that they use that as the catalyst for the fucking whole registration deal as versus to what it was supposed to be. Because I felt like that fucking that collateral damage that was caused, like you said, it was basically unnecessary, pointless, and really not even realistic because she could have raised that motherfucker all the way up, right? Matter of
Yep.
fact, she could have held him right there, let him explode, and held the energy, and then dispersed the energy. So there's a number of ways they could have handled that realistically if she was real and she was really doing it.
Well, and I mean, and we saw her do it with the smoke, with the tear gas or the smoke,
Yeah,
whatever the poison gas was.
you
Like
are
we saw
you
her
are
do that
absolutely
exact
correct.
same thing. So
You're
I was just
absolutely
kind of
correct.
like, that was weird.
And I also touching on what you said, touching on your point, they didn't know. I really don't think they knew how to give life to her powers in this movie versus what it is in the comics because her powers in the comics are far greater than what they. She was more like a fucking telekinetic. Is that the term, telekinetic or some shit?
Yeah, because she even makes that joke, like, I can move stuff with my mind, right? I'm just
Yeah,
like,
like no,
okay,
her power is not. Her power is she can make what she want real. You know what I'm saying? She
yeah.
fucking can alter reality. They got her pulling cars and shit and throwing shit around. Her power is she alters reality to her will. That's something totally different. And I think the closest they came to that is when she fucking powered Vision down and sent him through the ground.
Yeah. I was gonna say her and then Hawkeye. Like Hawkeye just felt like crowbarred into it.
Oh no,
Like
I
so,
was waiting for Hawkeye, dude. I love me some Hawkeye in this.
you know what though? Like I thought, like they made the comment that he retired. Like I thought he was just gonna be out. I thought it was gonna be like Hulk and Thor.
Yeah, nah, you had to have Hawkeye in there, dude. You had to have Hawkeye in there because if not, fucking Black Widow would have got killed. Because everybody
I
else got powers. She would have been dead.
I think it was just like they needed one more guy on Cap's side to kind of like even out the
Well,
odds a
yeah,
little
that too.
bit.
That too.
So
That
that's
too.
kind of like I almost wondered
But
like if he wasn't going to be in it, and they were like, "Hey, so you
who
want
else?
to come
Who else
back?"
would they? Who else would they fucking get? Because I mean, realistically, anyone else and fucking Black Widow's dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and I think if you even added like Hulk and Thor, like I think the power levels and even if you split it, right? Like if you put Hulk on one side and
hmm
Thor on the other, and maybe that's one reason why they didn't do it.
They couldn't.
A
They couldn't do that.
collateral damage that, or you really couldn't decide who was going to be on whose side. Like
hmm
I would think Banner would side with Tony, and Thor would probably be
With Cap.
on Cap's side.
Yeah.
But
There's no way they could do that because that if they did Thor and fucking and Hulk, that you can throw the Civil War shit out the window. That becomes a fight between Thor. That whole fight scene becomes Thor fighting Hulk, and it's not going to stay in that fucking on that airfield.
no, you would have just you would have had a ton of collateral
Yeah,
damage.
that shit would have been
I
somewhere else.
I did like that line though when they were like, "Can you even tell me where Banner and Thor are?" And like they all kind of like looked at each other like, "Fuck, no, none of us can."
There's
And
no
and
good reason. There's no good excuse for it.
yeah, and then when he says something like, "Well, if I would have lost two 40,000 ton bombs or whatever, like
Yeah.
I'd have hell to pay too," I was just kind of like, "Oh shit, it's kind of right."
Yeah, I mean, you got literally have two motherfucking nukes. I mean, a Thor and Hulk fight is basically that fucking the Man of Steel, Superman versus Zod. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That shit went all
exactly.
into space and stuff. So now they couldn't have been in the movie. I'm with you on that one.
Actually, I like that line a lot, and the other line that I liked was when Tony kind of like laid out his plot line of how he's continually fucked things up, and
Yeah,
like he finally owned it. Like
yeah,
I thought that was kind of a I don't want to say a nice touch, but it was good because you hear people talk about it like why can't Tony realize that he's the one who's messing everything up? So
yeah.
it was good to see him own that.
A couple things that I did not like and I cannot find peace with. The first thing is I don't like how they introduce the fact that Pepper Potts and Tony wasn't together and Pepper Potts wasn't going to be in this movie. Like I just they because we got no we didn't get anything on that up to this point. I mean, up to this point before this movie, as far as we knew, him and Pepper Potts were ready to get married, and then I guess because she couldn't be in the movie for whatever reason, you just totally fucking just write her off and just come up with some bullshit story as to why y'all ain't together.
You know what though? Like, I I almost like that. Like it showed it made Tony human again.
No, I like the idea of it. I don't like the way it was carried out.
Well, I can tell you right now, like there's nothing worse. Like I've had to give countless presentations, and when you're using like a prompter like that, I'll tell you, dude, 7 out of 10 times there's a problem with the damn prompter in some way, shape, or form. It seems like,
Hmm.
and like having that up there, like, well, at least for me, like I felt for him because I've been there when shit's messed up like that, and again, like I think it's one of those grounding moments for Tony where he can't save everybody. Like he can't be everything to everybody. You know what I mean? And there's consequences to his actions. And at this point, all the things that he's done has caused Pepper to separate herself from him.
I needed a fucking cameo or something. You can't because she's played such a major role in all of these fucking movies. You can't just come to fucking Civil War, right? And not even show her say calling him or him calling her and her not answering the something, her not answering the
You
phone,
know what though? Like
something,
I
huh?
think no, I think it would have diminished it if she would have actually been in it.
Nah, I'm
Because
sorry, dude. I can't agree with you
no,
there.
because then she would have still been in his life.
Well,
Like
no, but
like
she's in that world. See,
well,
to me, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
no, okay. Like I'm probably gonna say some shit that I probably shouldn't have, but there's been times where I've put my career before my family.
Oh shit! Don't play this shit loud. Your wife hear this shit. I knew
No,
it,
no, no, no,
motherfucker.
no, no. Oh, oh no, trust me, she knows. No, but Mickey, there was a point where she took the kids and left,
I've been there. I feel you. I've been there.
and I needed that reality check because it made it real and it kind of puts I don't want to say reality, but I mean like it puts what's important really
It
in
puts
front of
some,
you.
yeah. It puts some. I've been there. It puts some weight in front of your eyes, and you're like, "What the fuck?" It makes you. It's like that's like the ultimate fucking speed bump, and you're like, "Oh shit! Wait, what am I doing?" Because
Well, yeah, but the thing is like she needed to go away because that made me realize how big of a part she played.
yeah.
It's the same thing here. Like
But you had the confrontation. I mean, you lived your life, so obviously you get to experience all of that shit and get the confrontation and see her when she
Mhm.
all that shit. In this movie, we don't get that. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
I don't I don't I don't think that fight or watching the argument like I don't think that that's necessary though. Like
I don't need to see that specifically. I just need to see something,
no
anything.
no because the void of her not being there is what makes it real.
But that's for me. That's what made it not realistic. That's what made me not
Mm,
believe it, not feel it. In the way that God, I had an analogy while you were talking too. I had an analogy for it, but it's just it wasn't real. It's in the way that like in other movies where we just hate the movie because they throw some shit at us, but there's no groundwork for it. They just expect you to swallow it. That's how I felt
mhm.
with that. I mean, all the way up to this point, you've always seen her. You've seen her face in one way, form, or fashion. Now all of a sudden, I don't see her. Oh, perfect. Okay, Martin. You remember the show Martin, right?
Mhm.
So Martin. So in real life, they had that clash. They had the little legal situation. So Martin and Tisha Campbell couldn't be on the set at the same time, whatever the case is. So they always came with these little stupid ass reasons for why Martin wasn't there or why Tisha wasn't there. And eventually, after fucking so many episodes of that, you're like, what the fuck, man? Come on, this is bullshit. So for them to do that in the movie, it to me it was more of an irritation. I was like, oh, this is bullshit.
I think you just wanted to see the drama.
I just want to see Pepper Potts.
I
I
thought you
deserve,
didn't. I thought you
huh?
didn't like skinny white women with no
I
ass.
like me some Pepper Potts though.
Mm,
I like me
okay.
some Pepper Potts, homie. I like me some Pepper Potts. And the other thing was that fucking when Black Widow was in that fucking what was that she was in? What was that for? That armor truck or whatever the case is?
Oh,
And
with the grenade.
yeah, he drops the grenade in there, and she fucking kicks one guy. I don't know if his body. I don't think his body fell on top of it, but she used the other guy's body to brace her as the shit
Mm-hmm.
blew up and she got thrown out. The shit. That's come on, man. That's not. That's I can accept a lot of unrealistic shit in a superhero movie, but that was a bit much.
Yeah,
Get the
that was a
fuck
bit.
out of here.
That was a bit much.
Cause then they get blown out of the fucking vehicle, and the guy's body is not in any kind of parts or anything. Like he's not like a fucking a carcass of fucking bloody ooze. You
And
know,
burnt. Whatever left of
yeah,
them.
yeah. He just got
Yeah,
some smoke on him. Like get the fuck out of here.
yeah. What did you think of the fight scenes?
Um, here's one thing that I okay, two things. One thing that I liked in the fight scenes in this that weren't utilized in the Batman vs Superman scenes. Whereas when Batman was fighting, when he was actually doing like fighting with the villains or the thugs or whatever the case is, they didn't. They in the Batman vs Superman, if you notice, they didn't use that trick where they kind of double time it. You know, so they speed it up just a little bit, so it
Mm-hmm.
makes it look like he's reacting faster. Everything's going faster, so it looked slower. So it's almost like a stutter there, and it's like, dude, he had all day. He had all day for a guy to fucking shoot him or come at him, or he took too long in that transition between grabbing that weapon, twisting the guy, breaking his arm, and throwing the guy. Whereas in this movie, everything was double time. You know what I'm saying? You can see where they sped it up to make it look even quicker than it was. I like that. It flew pretty well.
Yeah, it was all right. There was a couple like punches that were like way off, and you could tell like they tried to like the way they edited it
Hmm.
was like to try to cover it up. But like the one like well excluding the big fight scene at the airport, right?
Hmm.
But I think those smaller fights were really good. But that scene, like when they were busting out of Bucky's apartment and they had a fight going down the stairwell,
That shit was pretty dope.
yeah, that shit was pretty cool, man. And it was like tight quarters, like that
Yeah,
was really good.
that shit was fucking pretty. I dug that a lot, dude. There was one thing about the fight scenes though. So I noticed, and this could just be me, but I noticed that okay, so the Batman versus Superman, the Batman, the whole fighting style was taken from the game. We already know that, right? From the Arkham City shit.
Hmm.
The way he collapsed bodies when he hit him and shit. I just kind of noticed that a lot of the fucking the fights in this movie, as far as like when they're knocking motherfuckers out, them one hitter quitters they was doing and shit, them
Hmm.
combination enders, a lot of them combinations seem to resemble the fucking Arkham Knight fight motions. You notice that shit like hit a motherfucker in the face and his whole body just fold and his head hits the ground and his feet fly into the air and shit. I was like, you motherfuckers kind of snuck some shit, dude.
Well, there was some of it that was a little exaggerated, but I mean, come on, it's a superhero movie.
Now it's okay to exaggerate in the superhero movie. We can't hold the helicopter though. The super
No,
soldier can't hold the helicopter though.
no, that was too fucking much. That
This
was too
guy,
much, dude.
this guy. What else? What else can we?
You know what? That. Well, moving to the big fight scene,
Uh huh.
like it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Wait, the one
Like
with Iron Man or the big one on the landing strip?
no, at the airport. Like I thought it was gonna be much worse, but it
Yeah,
was like they kept the scenes small, like they
yeah,
were tight, like the way they were shooting it.
yeah,
It seemed to
yeah,
work pretty good, and it was kind of like the camera never really stopped, and I think that helped it.
yeah,
Like it kept moving and kind of like moving around the fights in
yeah.
like a 360 manner, like the way it was panning. I think was really good.
Yeah, I gotta give you
Um,
that one. That's true. Cause I was talking cash shit about it beforehand. But even when they were like running towards each other and shit, and was building up,
mhm.
they kept the shots real tight. I like that. They did a good job.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Did you get?
Like
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say like I didn't like the Ant Man going into Iron Man's suit and the fire
I thought
retardant
that shit
inside of
was
the
cool
suit.
as fuck. That shit was funny as hell, dude. That
No,
was
we are
awesome.
well.
You
I
fucking
wanted
Ant
something
Man
different.
hater. You're an Ant Man hater.
I'm a Paul Rudd hater.
God.
No, but the thing was, is like we already saw that. We saw that in the Ant Man movie when he did it to Falcon. I just wanted something different.
Dude, he was fucking unplugging electronics inside of fucking iron. And you know what? Another reason why I liked it because okay, Iron Man in the Iron Man suit, right? How
Hmm.
fucking many layers is it to that? I mean, it's a movie I know, but I've always felt like it's like watching it from the first Iron Man to this Iron Man. How many fucking layers and how much mass shifting and how fucking how micronic can these weapons be before they pop out Like, you know what I'm saying? Your shoulder blade is right there. Next one, you got a fucking tank popping out of your shoulder. So to see him go in between the layers of the armor and get to the inner work, the inner mechanics and shit, in like a whole fucking universe, I thought that was kind of cool. Cause I've always felt like y'all are full of shit, dude. This shit's not that fucking big, bro.
uh,
Like he's fucking got like fucking a fucking I don't know, a fucking rocket launcher pops out of his fucking bicep. You know what I'm saying? Just crazy
yeah.
shit. Like, come
Well,
on, dude.
there was one of them, man. Like for being the space age armor, the
Hmm.
super high tech. It looks like he unplugged like a coax cable, like the old
Yeah, I
cables.
saw that. I saw
You'd
that.
run like I was like, what the hell?
Like,
Tony's running coax
yeah, like
inside of the Iron Man
at
suit.
what point could you even run a fucking cable? Because the way the armor looks on him, it's such a tight, such a close fit. But they make it seem like it's so many fucking like just it's like it's so much room for mechanics inside of that suit before you get to his actual body in the suit. And I'm like, nah, man,
Uh,
nah, dude.
I didn't like the
You
you're
like the
pulling your punches scene between Hawkeye and Black Widow.
I like that. I liked it because
I
they're all friends, dude.
I didn't like that, and I didn't like the Scarlet Witch like grabbing her leg and fucking throwing her halfway across the airfield. I was like, it's a little much.
That no, when she grabbed her through her and the chick was still getting up, which I love me some Scarlet. I love me some Scarlet J. But come on, dog. You ain't got no superpowers. You ain't got no fucking vibranium in your suit. You got through and you're a chick, and it's not even like you a fucking Ronda Rousey built chick. You know what I'm saying? With the fight skills, yeah, but you got through across the fucking airfield into a fucking hard structure. I don't think you're getting up anytime soon. You're not having a
Uh,
conversation with Tony later on.
I didn't like that. I didn't like the double cross. I
The
didn't
double
like,
cross? What double
yeah.
cross?
Well, when she turned on the Black Panther and started shooting him with the
She's
little fucking
gotta
stun
do that.
gun.
They're buddies, dude. This is not like the comics where they motherfuckers in the comics they were fuck. If this was the comics and they pulled that shit, I'd be like, nah, because the comics these motherfuckers is beefing. So they were sticking to the comic storyline. I'd be like, nah, no fucking way, because the motherfuckers were mad at like. Remember in Civil War, where Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four, his family got separated. Motherfuckers were mad at him for taking a side against Sue Storm. Like they wanted to fuck him up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Some genuine animosity, but this wasn't that. Like everybody was still like they were all battling and shit, but you could tell that nobody really wanted to hurt the other side, and shit. They actually had to build up to that. I was totally okay with it. Totally okay.
Hmm.
You're supposed to be defending this more than me, dude, because I'm the Batman vs Superman guy. As a matter of fact, let me ask you this question: was Batman versus Superman still in the theaters that you went to?
Yeah, it was.
When we were pulling up into the theater, my wife was driving, and we were pulling into the theater area, and I looked up at this sign, and I saw that the Batman vs Superman was on the sign as well as the Civil War. Somehow, I just felt like I was betraying Batman versus Superman.
You're cheating on your girl. You got a
Yeah,
side. You got,
I felt
got a
I
Marvel
felt
side chick.
guilty and shit. Like I wanted to say, no, it doesn't mean anything to me, baby. It doesn't mean anything to me. Oh
Oh, that is too funny, man.
man.
Uh,
Yeah,
it
man.
was like, I mean, overall, I think it was a really good movie. I'm
Yeah.
sticking with my 7.5, and I mean, what else can you say? Like, it it was much easier to poke plot holes in Batman versus Superman than what it
Yeah.
was in Civil War.
And that is the fault of Batman vs Superman. I can't defend that. I mean, I love that movie. I've seen it 4 times. I go see that. I would literally go and see that motherfucker like 4 more times and pay to see it in the theater. I like the movie that much. But as far as like the execution, yeah, they made their own bed in that. I mean, because Civil War had a lot going on, but they pulled it off very well, man.
Hmm.
They executed very well. So gotta get it to them. Even with the mask, with the super prison, the super jail. You know what I'm
Yeah, well,
saying?
it was funny, man. I kept looking at that. I'm like, is that Cobra's terror drone?
Yeah.
Is that what
Oh
that
shit!
is?
I thought I was the only person that thought that.
The
That shit came. I was like, that shit looks like the terror drone.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember this anywhere. Well, at first, like when it started coming up, I was like, "Oh shit, we got another helicarrier."
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And then it came up, and I was like, "That's the fucking Terradrome." What did you think about fucking Tony's push button fucking recliner suit in the helicopter?
Dude, that shit was tight.
It was tight, but I was like, "Come on, dog,
I
come
mean, it was
on."
a little out there, but like when he flipped the thing up and like read his fingerprint or whatever,
Uh huh.
like that would come on, man. Like just the imagery, like the way it looked, and like he leaned back and like the suit went on him and he fell
Yeah.
out of the back of the helicopter. I was like, oh shit,
It
that was
looked
pretty
dope
cool.
as hell, but as far as just the idea of it actually being done, I'm like, come on, what is this suit? Just what are these? Is this motherfucking suit in like a million microscopic pieces? Like, like what the fuck? It's like, like real things have structure. Like if you go take your fucking PlayStation apart, I know it's like fucking decades apart from a Iron Man suit. But if you take your fucking PlayStation apart, you can only break that bitch down to a minimal amount of parts, dude. Like these Iron Man suits, they fit in suitcases, they fit in wallets, they fit in watches.
Wallets.
Yeah,
Get
I
out
mean,
of here.
what the fuck, dude? He's got a credit card and you swipe the bitch and it turns to an Iron Man suit. Dog. Come on, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'm with you. For right now, I'll stick to my 8.5, maybe 9, and I'm pretty sure it'll come down a little bit and balance out. It'll probably balance out at a 7.58 after maybe seeing it one more time and then watching the bootleg a few times.
Do you have tickets to go and see it again yet?
Nah, and see, and that's why I say I enjoyed the Batman vs Superman. When Batman vs Superman was over, I wanted to rewatch that shit immediately, and every day
See,
since then I wanted to watch it again.
okay, well, hang on. Now,
Hmm.
did you want to watch it again to try to see if you missed things that fill in the gaps? Because I can tell you that's why I wanted to go watch it
Hmm.
again. This I feel like after seeing Civil War, like I got a complete movie.
I feel the same way as far as Civil War. I feel like I watched it. I got a complete movie. I'm fine. I will watch it one more time because I just like the movie. You know what I'm saying? But for
Hmm.
Batman vs Superman, it wasn't so much about filling in the gaps. It was more about I didn't want it to be over. I wanted to watch it again and watch it again and experience it again. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
and and each time that I went and saw it, I felt the same way I felt when the excitement I felt when I first watched it. And the only thing was each time I went and saw it, each additional time that I went and saw it, it seemed to go by quicker, which made me want to go and see it again even more.
Mm.
And I think that's just
Did,
that Batman Superman deal. I think it's just that that iconic presence that Batman and Superman have with you as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Did you pick up on any Easter eggs during the movie?
Uh, not that I can think of. Other than the fucking that chick that's Sharon Carter who turns to Mockingbird, or Sharon Carter who plays Agent Sharon Carter. That's Agent Sharon Carter, right?
Yep,
But see, I thought Sharon Carter
because she's
had.
in Shield.
Yeah. I thought Sharon Carter. Well, in this she was CIA. Oh wait, she was Shield before, right? And then became CIA because Shield fell apart, right?
Yep.
In this line, right? Yeah, I don't think I picked up anything, but I just kept waiting for Nick Fury to show up. But I don't
So
think
did
I
I.
picked up on
Well,
anything.
I kept waiting for Nick Fury and
Hmm.
Stan Lee, and we got Stan
Yeah,
Lee
we
like in the
got
last
Stanley.
5 minutes.
Yeah, and it was funny as fuck too. I'm with that.
Mr. Stank.
Yeah,
That shit was funny.
yeah. I can't think of any. And see, that's the thing. I don't think they really. Well, maybe we have to watch it again to see, but I don't think they really put anything in there because everything was right there for you.
The only one I caught was like after the initial run in with Black Panther, Cap, and Bucky,
Hmm.
like when they had them all in or Falcon too, like when he had them all in cuffs,
Hmm.
and they had Bucky in like the, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the containment cage,
Hmm.
like sitting there, like the number and letter combo on the cage was D23. That's the big Disney convention.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was the only one I caught. And then when they had Zemo in it, like it was something else. I'm like, I didn't get anything off of that. But yeah, that was really the only one that I caught. Like, I wasn't actively looking, but normally, like in Marvel things, like things pop up or they drop people's names. Like I didn't get a lot of that in this movie.
I thought that when he was put, I thought that those super soldiers, those super soldiers, the Russian super soldiers or whatever the fuck they were, I
Hmm.
thought they were going to end up being his Masters of Evil team. So that's
You
why
know,
I was so surprised when they killed him.
I was kind of thinking that too,
Hmm.
but like his Masters of Evil team were more others like
Yeah, you're
low
right.
level supervillain type things.
That's
But
true. That's true.
yeah,
I think that's about all I. Oh, I will say this: the fuck, you know how like the Black Panther T'Challa, he has in the comics and cartoon and all that shit. He has those two chicks, the two bodyguards,
hmm,
and of course he only had one, but oh, what a bodyguard she was, boy.
with the bald head,
Oh yeah.
you liked her, huh?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. I love a tall woman. I like a bald headed woman. I think it's something that's so fucking. I think it's something so confident about a woman that can cut her hair out and rock her head bald over a really low cut like that. That shit's hot to me, dude. And she was
So
stacked. She was stacked. She was like
so you
built.
like some Amber Rose, huh?
Oh, it goes without saying. I think you like some Amber Rose too,
Uh,
buddy.
uh, Actually, I can say the only other thing that bothered me, and they kind of made a joke of it, was when they called him the Manchurian Candidate.
Oh, that shit was
Like,
funny as hell.
like to get Bucky to go into the Winter Soldier mode, like you have to say the random words, the
Yeah,
random Russian words in the order, and
yeah.
then all of a sudden he snaps too. Like that kind of bothered me too.
Isn't that? Yeah, because I thought he had to have the. I thought the machine played a large part of that in the
See
words of his
that's
code.
what I thought it was too. Like they had to
Uh,
recharge him almost, type of a thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Or but
I
I
like
don't
when
know.
fucking Tony shot his arm off. I thought that was fucking.
Yeah, that shit was tight. Well,
Yeah.
like I want to know, like, where did the arm go? Like,
I think he incinerated that shit. I think that beam incinerated it.
you know,
I thought that was so because it was so permanent. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was more he blew it off, type of a thing.
I didn't see him like carried out or nothing like that. So
Mm.
yeah.
I like that scene too, like when Tony was holding War Machine. Like the Falcon walks over and he's
Oh, he
like,
just shot him and
"Man,
shit.
I'm sorry." He just shot him. Didn't even
Like, get
fucking
the
say a
fuck
word to him.
out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I,
fuck
I like I
you.
like that too because they showed just how important Rhodey was to him and has been to him all this time.
Yeah, I don't- yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
I,
it was a good movie. Huh?
Did Vision in the button down and cardigan bother you?
No, I thought that shit was so cool, dog. Yeah, I like a little GQ magazine. I'm a GQ magazine subscriber, so I like that shit, dog.
Thought it
I
was
was
a
looking
little
forward to
weird,
having
and
an
then
ascot.
and then like him cooking, and I'm just kind of like, it just felt weird.
I dug it, man. I dug it, especially because they were trying to touch into that whole relationship from the comics, and I, I thought it was awkwardly funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all about the cheesy jokes with the Marvel shit. So I mean, it's totally different from DC with the fucking cold seriousness. So I,
Yeah,
I go
I
in
just
expecting it.
I think it was more him wanting, wanting to be human,
Yeah,
but I don't know. It just seemed off-putting, like with the dark red skin and everything. I was just kind of like,
yeah, the color
this is
palette. Yeah,
weird.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was. Because I
but
mean, because he's got the weirdest part for me was that okay, obviously he's got a little prosthetic skin costume thing on under it. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the lines and the creases through the clothes. And I thought that part was kind of just it's little, but I had to fucking put some respect on his name for the fucking. You know what I'm saying? For his fucking game, his fucking wardrobe game was on point, dude.
dude,
Uh,
I think it was more of a we need to reel the budget in a little bit. We can't pay to animate this suit the whole time.
yeah, that's
Can you throw my man in a cardigan
yeah.
and some Dockers? Let him go.
I like it. Hey, let me ask you this question: did you think that? And I think we got to wrap this shit up. Too. Did you think that
Hang on. What time is it?
it's like
It's fucking 1 o'clock in the
oh
morning.
my god, I'm not gonna be able to get. And so I'm going to work in the morning, right? Because I was actually supposed to be off for tomorrow, but I got this project got dropped in my lap, and I want to make sure it's done. So I'm going in the morning. So I'm actually going in the morning. I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going in at 6. I can work on it before the the sales engineer. I don't even know why they call him an engineer because he's not fucking sales.
Damn.
Because he don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's asking for. That's a whole another conversation, dude. You know what I mean? We're working on a 2D CAD drawing. I can see why I was doing this in 3D, but it's a 2D CAD drawing, and you want to show things that really shouldn't be. Certain these things that he's requesting should be annotated in notes. And I'm telling him now, like, listen, traditionally the standard for that is that it would be annotated in notes. You know what I'm saying? And I know because I've done the full design engineering process. You know what I'm saying? Like with these guys, I'm working as just the CAD draftsman. You know what I'm saying? So I go back and I fix the engineers' fuck ups because they don't know how to use CAD. But but coming from the design engineer position, I understand how shit. I know the standards and shit, and he's asking for shit that don't really go there, and that's just a whole another fucking thing. But anyways, the project got dropped in my lap, and I told you about the shit in the chat the other day, right? And
Yep.
so I'm going in the morning just so I can meet with him and make sure everything is in order, and then I'm actually leaving from there to drive to South Carolina. I'm gonna be fucking sucking.
Wow.
Yeah. What the
Out of
fuck are we
control.
talking about?
I don't know. You said you had one more thing that bothered you about the movie, and then you went down a tangent.
Oh, I know, right? I suck with that. Hey, so what I was gonna ask you, the scene where she, right when she's getting ready to throw him through the floor and shit, and you see like all that red, was that energy or was that her tearing him? Because I thought it was her tearing him apart.
Like I thought it was at first too, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it was like her energy, like concentrating, like pushing him down.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of, I don't want to call it a pressure point, but yeah, like when I first saw like those glowing red things, I'm like, dude, she's not gonna fucking tear him apart, is she? I like I'm with you. I thought the exact same thing, and I thought, well, maybe that's how they get the mind gem out of Vision's head for
Yeah.
for for the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, because she like rendered that shit powerless, and then yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah.
That's part of me, like my stomach sank for a minute, and I'm like, they're gonna fucking kill him, but
And
no,
then that brings the point. So she's more. So the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than one of the fucking Infinity Stones,
don't know.
or
That
equally.
I mean that's a whole another can of worms.
Yeah, true. I mean, she's hella powerful, dude. Like House of M, dude. She changed the reality for the world. You know what I'm saying? She's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna go watch it again tomorrow night in IMAX. So
Yeah, I gotta go see the IMAX. So we went to a local theater this time. I think I'll catch the IMAX on the way home on Saturday because I
well,
know the family gonna want to go again. Well, the kids might want to go, but
you sound so positive, so happy to bring them with you.
dude, it's fucking. I went to the. Thank God we went to the local theater, the little local bullshit one here up the street because, and it is decent. It's just not the one you normally want to go to, right? It's the one you want to go to when you don't have to worry about can you get a seat, right? So
Yeah.
$40 fucking. No. I'm sorry. It was $42.97. I gave her my fucking student ID, and that brought the price down to 41.50 for fucking 4 tickets to see this movie. And then the fucking popcorn was $50.
What?
Yeah, fucking like the food, you gotta buy everybody a little fucking. The kids got nachos. The kids got the fucking big slushies and the nachos, right, with cheese, right. And then I got medium popcorn. 'Cause my wife doesn't like her own popcorn. She just wants to steal my popcorn, right. So a medium
Mm.
popcorn, raisinets, and a large drink. $50 fucking. Let me.
Well, that's your problem. You got raisinets. Those are fucking
I
gross.
know raisins are awesome, dude. With the popcorn, you eat the popcorn and raisins together. That's fucking awesome.
No, raisins are gross.
No, no,
Anyway.
no, let me just say this before we go. The fucking nachos the kids got that cost like I think they're like $5 each. The fucking nachos was a bag of chips and some fucking that nacho cheese shit from the jar they poured in the little container and shit.
Really?
A bag of fucking nacho chips and some melted nacho cheese. It wasn't even real fucking like if you're gonna do that, at least when you give us a tray with the nacho chips in it, have the chips already in the tray. Don't show me the 99-cent bag. No, the 79-cent bag.
And the Costco cheese that
Yeah, they came out of a vat.
you heated up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they came out of a fucking vat that you heated up and shit. You're fucking dude. I know
Ah,
how they make their money, but oh my god.
man, you gotta get your wife to get a big purse, man, so she can start sneaking that shit in for you.
Man, there's a reason why I don't do that shit. When I was a kid, that's the only way we could eat fucking at the movies was we had to sneak the fucking food, and I used to hate that shit. Or you didn't get anything. Like you be in the theater, like okay, sidetrack, and I'll stop sidetracking after this one. So, story from when I was a kid. Me and my brother, we walked from our house to we were living in Marietta at the time. We walked from our house to fucking the Gallery Mall, and I don't know. I, it was a fucking 2.5 hour walk. I'll say that.
Wow.
Yeah, 2.5. But back then you fucking walk as a kid. You didn't care, right? So
Yep.
we get to the theater and I lost. Okay, another sidetrack. That weekend I was visiting with my dad. We was visiting with at my dad's house, right? And my dad and them and my uncles they were a bunch of thug motherfuckers, like the most illegal motherfuckers you ever want to meet. Like one time he was paying child support. I had to go pick up my child support money, right? But he was to get the money. He was depending on my uncle to come buy I think like 2 pounds of weed, and
Damn.
and my uncle fucked off and never came. Or who? I think it was my uncle, my play uncle, or somebody. But needless to say, I didn't get no money. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, fast forward to the other portion. I'm at my dad's house. My dad taught me how to roll dice. My dad and my uncle learned how to play dice with my dad's and my uncles, right? So we were in the kitchen rolling dice, and my dad was breaking my uncles and shit. And he won all this money that night, and he gave me all of that money. He just let me have it, right? So that later that week when I'm back home with my brother, we walked to the movie theater, and I'm treating us to the movies with that money. I think it was like $50 in ones, right? So we get to the theater, but I dropped the money in the rubber band. I dropped the money. So we get to the theater because we were going to see New Jack City, but I was too young. They wouldn't let us go in.
I was about to say, how old are you? You're trying to get into New Jack City?
They wouldn't let us in. My brother was like, "Well, I don't want to go home." He started crying and shit, and he hates when I tell these stories because he's a little kid, he's crying all the time. So he was like, so he wanted to go. He didn't want to see New Jack City any fucking way. He wanted to see the Jetsons movie. That tells you how old this shit was, right?
Wow.
So we go in to see the fucking Jetsons movie. I'm already pissed off because I'm not watching New Jack City, and we were in there. I don't have my money. I realized I dropped my fucking money and shit. And I had just no money to get some movie. We were in there, and he starts crying. My brother was always fucking crying. Every story I ever tell you about my brother when we were kids involves him crying or roaring like an animal, right? So he was crying. Because he would get mad, like, if he had to get in a fight or something like that, he would get mad, like, and he... Remind me to tell you the Jungle Gym story another day, right? But, because he would roar like a tiger or some shit to fight somebody. But, so we were in the theater, and everybody's, like, eating their popcorn and shit. He starts crying. He's like, man, Mickey, man, they're tearing that damn popcorn up. He's like, they don't gotta smack that loud. That popcorn sounds so good. Oh, I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. And he just starts crying. And he's like, the popcorn smells so good.
Wow.
And I'm just like cursing them out and shit because I was pissed off because I didn't want to see this shit. I dropped my money. But on the way walking home, we actually found the money. We were walking across the highway.
No shit.
Yeah, we walked across South Cobb Drive, which is like a major road. It's like 4 lanes on one side, 4 lanes on the other side of the median. We got across it, and my fucking money was rolled up on the ground. Nobody got it, so that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm fucking
Kyle,
tired. Huh?
you got lucky there. You got lucky there.
Really lucky, bro. Really lucky. He's like, the popcorn smells so good. They're tearing that popcorn up, Mick.
Dude, side note on movie popcorn, right?
Uh-huh.
What movie was it? I was with my wife. I don't remember what it was now. Anyway, long story short, we're leaving, and like the movie rows, like we went and saw like a big IMAX movie, so those rows are really long, and we were in the middle. So this guy's kind of walking in front of us, and we're probably about halfway down, and there's like a bucket of popcorn, and it's probably like half full.
Mm-hmm.
This guy fucking picks it up out of the chair and starts eating it, and I'm like,
are you serious?
Yeah, I was like,
fucking gross ass.
Like, I looked at it for a second, and then my wife looked at me like, did you just see that shit? And I'm like, and I kind of like looked at her, giving her that look, that same look, and he starts eating it, and like,
I kind of look at it. I'm like, that's gross, man. That guy could have been scratching his balls and eating
That's
popcorn. Like you
fucking
don't know what he was doing.
disgusting. I mean, think about everybody who leaves the theater. They leave their food in the theater. Don't you always usually put whatever your trash is in the popcorn bucket? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So, well, no. So we're following this guy out,
Uh huh.
and he's like still just eating it, and like we're almost like laughing at this point. The guy like walks over to a garbage can, like dumps the rest of it out. So we were like, oh, he must have ate something nasty or
Uh huh.
got like a taste of something, right? No, this motherfucker takes it over to the stand
They got a refill.
and got a fucking refill and took it with him. I was like, oh my god.
Motherfucker.
What is this world coming to?
People suck, man. People suck, dude. Oh, by the way,
Ugh.
that $50 fucking popcorn was cold and stale. Let me just throw that out there as
Wow.
well.
You should have
Yeah.
gone back out there and been like, I just paid $50. I just got raped. And you guys didn't even give me any of that artificial butter as lube. I demand some new popcorn.
I know, right? You can at least lube me up with some butter. Yeah, I think, but I think that's like the perfect example of where we are as a society. I've been fucked over so many times in theaters. No matter what theater I've gone to, no matter how nice, I've been fucked over so many times with the fucking popcorn that I've just gotten used to the fucking popcorn being expensive, cold, and stale. That's sad.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's where they make all their money.
I blame George Bush.
Which one?
I
H or W?
pick one. I don't fucking.
All
I
right.
don't know. I don't know. Dude,
Anyway, it's fucking quarter after 1 in the
let's
morning.
get out of here, dude.
Let's wrap this shit up.
Fuck yeah. Anything you want to like say to do or do to say?
No, just go and see it.
Yeah,
It's worth it's more than worth the price of admission.
I totally agree. I
And
totally
then
agree.
when are you getting this up?
I'm going to actually be a big boy, put on my big boy pants, I'm going to cowboy up, and when we get off of this, I'm going to edit it and throw it up.
I don't even think you need to edit it. Just fucking
No,
throw it
no,
up.
I mean like actually throw it into the template and then just
Oh,
fucking yeah, and then
all right.
it's got to render, so it'll probably upload in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, be sure to be sure to check out round 2 of
Yeah.
our collaboration with Adam and Bobby over at Nerd Rage Radio.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we're doing this every fucking superhero bonanza. Nerd Rage Radio and Toy Detox are fucking doing collaborations. So you guys tune in tomorrow or later today or whatever the fuck it is to hear us all talk about this shit all over again. That's it. Show's over.
that's it. Fucking going to bed. I got to get up in 4 hours.
Later, bruh.
All right.
All right.